Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 22. We are with Williams again for round 8 of our season 3 and we're heading to Baku, and I'm really looking forward to this race. I love racing here. I think it's a good circuit. It's certainly one where overtaking is more than possible. Two very long DRS straights make that very straightforward. And tactically, it can be quite an interesting one as well. So, yeah, looking forward to this race. We're coming off the back of a very comfortable 1-2 at Monaco. And things are looking very good for us. As you can see, in the Constructors' Championship, we are sitting very pretty at the top of the standings. 231 points against 154 for Red Bull. Comfortably ahead there. And in the drivers, we are 1 and 2 in the Drivers' Championship as well. George Russell has been more consistent and has picked up a couple of wins. Pierre has picked up, I think, one win more, I think. We'll check that in a second, but has had a couple of big wrecks as well. So, yeah, George, Mr. Consistency, currently leading the standings from his world champion teammate. And we have a little bit of housekeeping to do before we get into the next Grand Prix. We've got some side pods about to drop on the car. So let's go ahead and advance some time for that. How you doing, Mr. Otto? Good to see you. Oh, no, it's just research. Wow. Did I do a research project this early in the season? Why did I do a research project this early in the season? Did I just do that by mistake? I might have done that by mistake. Okay. I deliberately, I remember now, yeah, we wanted to get a start on the development because I forget the exact reason why. I think there were some big changes on those two parts. Oh no, they're only small changes. Why did I start so early then? Huh. Why did I start 2 research projects so early? Okay, I'm a little confused as to why I started researching this early in the season if it's just those 2 parts and it's only a 10% loss. Our engine cooling isn't great, maybe that's why. Plus our top speed is hurting a little bit. Maybe I just wanted to get a leg up on improving engine cooling and drag reduction for next season. Okay, well, we've got a new rear wing on order right now. Let's see. How long do we have until more hours? 27 days. Okay, so we could do with a little bit more brake cooling. We're 9th in brake cooling right now. So let's go with a front wing, I think. Let's improve everything first and then look at making some tweaks based on where the car sits. Okay, this will actually make us worse because I think the last one had quite a few hours on it. So what can I do to improve this? We could drop a bit off the high speed. That's not changing the top speed at all. It's just changing our brake and our cornering. So that's just putting more drag on the car. So let's not go with that. Let's look at a side pod project. Let's go ahead and go with an optimized cooling. Again, we're getting a lot of extra drag. If we bump the drag up, or the drag reduction up, we are getting benefits on the car, but not huge. I think we might be in a position where we can only really improve the car with hours now. Maybe that's why I started the research. What about a quick underfloor without adding hours to it. What could we do with that? Take some of that airflow sensitivity off the car. That would give us a little boost to our speed. Wouldn't really do that much for us either. Again, not seeing huge gains because of the amount of development that's already gone into this car. So maybe that's why I was doing the research, just because I needed to kill time until we got some more hours available. Alright, one last look. Let's have a look at doing an optimized cooling suspension. That's not really going to do that much for the car itself, but it is going to give us a nice little boost to our braking, move us up a couple of spots. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We've got 27 days till we get more hours, so let's take that to there, and that's 27 days. That's perfect. Right, let's drop that project on. Evening Farah, evening Marcel, and Jeremy as well. Good to see you all. Right, am I missing any spare parts? Let's have a look. No, I am good for parts. Do I have any points to spend? No, I do not. Nothing there either. We're working on wing adjustments because they are really slow at the moment. Facilities. My design center is in its final stages of an upgrade. I've got a long time to go on that, 4 months until that's ready. Wind tunnel is going through its upgrade. CFD is already there. I don't have the money anyway. I don't know why I'm looking at this. We are going to have to upgrade or refurb our suspension simulator. How much would that cost? Ooh, that's not cheap. So we might be doing a refurb after this Grand Prix, because I don't think we can afford. Well, it might be a while till we can afford to actually upgrade that. And facility wise, we are refurbing our hospitality, we're upgrading our weather, and we're upgrading our memorabilia. Okay, so that's where we sit. Let's advance some more time. So the memorabilia upgrade is done. And here we are at Baku. Board now have high confidence. Let's check in with them. So yeah, a couple of disappointed results. There were crashes for Gasly at Jeddah and Imola, but apart from that, I'm very, very happy with the race results. Delighted across the board. That's what we like to see. Up and coming driver Jan Renault. He is new, I think. I don't remember seeing his profile before. Suspension is now in poor condition. We can't do anything about that till after the Grand Prix because we just don't have any funds. So let's go to race prep. Let's see, where does our car sit? Anyone bringing upgrades? We've dipped just a little, but not too bad. So let's set some realistic targets. We do need to make some money here. Qualifying position, the incentive is to get 1 in the top 2. We're going to guarantee 2 in the top 2 in each of Q2 and Q3. Fastest lap is the incentive. We should get that. We're going to guarantee 2 in the top 4. And then our streaks are already set. So let's head to Baku.
Hello from Baku, where we're looking forward to a weekend of racing among the medieval and the modern, here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Drivers will be battling it out on the streets of the Baku city circuit, a real contradiction of a track. From the long main straight, where the less drag the better, to the tight turns where downforce is a necessity. Teams are going to have to work hard to get that balance right. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder, what else is in store for the teams? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's get this underway.
Okay, so excellent weather for the race and even qualifying as well. Just a little bit of cloud today. This circuit is a little bit of a contradiction for us. This is normally a circuit I really enjoy, but on paper, this is a circuit that could be a little hard for us. The weakest part of our aero is the low-speed cornering. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not the best. And we don't have the greatest top speed either, so we're taking those long straight sections where we don't have the best speed and then breaking them up with lots and lots of very low speed corners, which we're not great at. So on paper this could be a bit of a tricky race for us, but I do think we'll do quite well. We do have more flexibility than the AI when it comes to strategy and pushing our drivers where we need to as well. So I'm not overly concerned, and I think we can hit all of our targets. Let's swap out some parts if we need to. They might already be in the car. Yeah, poor engine. This is still set up from Monaco by the look of it, so we just need to change the gearboxes. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the sliders. Figure out which car needs which setup. Okay, so the slightly lower wing settings need to be on George's car. So let's go with a 2 on the front wing, a 10 on the rear, a 2.8, a 3.05 and a 1. And let's give that one a go. And then we're going to go with 16 laps of fuel. And we're going to put Ollie in. We didn't put him in last time. Now, who should it have been? It should have been Pierre. So we will keep with that for this one. Let's just make sure that hasn't reset his setup. No, it hasn't. Good. And we will now do George's car. So we're going to go with a 1.5 on the front wing, a 10. It's going to be very, very similar setup. A 2.8, a minus 2.95, and a 1. Actually, I've got those the wrong way around. That should be a 3.05. That's not going to work. I can see that's not going to work. Okay, so let's try a 2, a 10, a 3.7, a minus 2.9, and a 0.85. That's right on the edge of the braking stability, so that could work. 16 laps and dropping the pace, and we are ready to go to practice.
Ready to check, can you hear me?
Alright, as always, making sure our drivers look after the car. Oh, and even 16 laps is right up to the wire. Look, maybe I should only go 15 laps. Yeah, let me change that in the book. There we go. I'm glad you're enjoying my Subnautica vids. I had so much fun playing that. every now and again, a game comes along that just truly grabs me. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. That game, it grabbed me. I was so invested in that game. Yeah, I mean, I have games that I play that I enjoy, but there's very few that actually really grab me, and that was one of them. You know, and I think the game before that really did that was Last of Us, the first one. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but every now and again, a game comes along that just really hooks, hooks into me, and I just have this wonderful feeling when I play it. Yeah, I mean, I have games that I enjoy playing. I love playing this game, but this game doesn't hook me the same way that, in terms of the raw feeling that I had when I played Subnautica, and the raw feeling I had when I played, for different reasons, but the same raw kind of emotional feeling that I had playing The Last of Us. I love this game, and I've put way too many hours into this game. But it doesn't grab me the same way that Subnautica did. It doesn't grab me the same way that The Last of Us did. To me, Subnautica is a very special game.
Any comments on balance?
Okay, 89% for George. A little bit of tweaking needed.
Understood.
We can probably figure that out. And 88 for the other car. So we're going to go and call Ollie in straight away. And what do we need to change? It's the cornering that needs to change. So let's try that. No point changing tyres. They'll be fine. Another VSC. Who's crashed this time? I didn't even see who crashed the first time. It's Ricardo this time.
What happened there? Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
Up there. Held up behind us.
There's the crash.
Oh, very clumsy. Yeah, he's got a puncture. I can see why that's a VSC. Whenever you see sparks coming off the wheel like that, you know it's a puncture.
VSC ending.
Okay, so the roll bar is not right. So I'm going to go back to a 2.8, but we're going to change the tyre camber. I need to change the front wing. I'm going to drop that down to a 1.5 anyway. Let's try that. Anthony said he thought he would just poo on, say hi. I'm guessing he meant to say pop in and say hi. Yeah, don't shit on my live stream. And have fun fishing. That feeling I've just described is Witcher 3 for you. Yeah, Witcher 3, I couldn't get into it. I do need to have another crack at it at some point, but I've tried as well to get into Horizon Zero Dawn, and I couldn't connect with it. You know, I played it for a few hours and got about 10 hours in, I think, of gameplay, and I never connected with it. It's again on my list of games to play again at some point and try and play again. But yeah, for whatever reason, Horizon Zero Dawn, Witcher 3, I could just never get into those games. God of War, absolutely loved God of War. Really, really enjoyed it. But as much as fun as I had playing that game, it didn't grab me in the same way that Subnautica did and Last of Us did. You know, those two games just, like I said, they just grabbed me in a way that video games don't normally do. I have so much fun with certain games, but I don't get that real, raw, emotional connection to a game. I don't know what it was about Subnautica. I know exactly what it was about The Last of Us. And I know the point that nearly broke me. It was, you know, just becoming part of the game in a way. You know, the way the conversation is just so natural, and it's almost like two people are just talking and they're not even aware that they're being recorded. You know, rather than the very obvious reading of a script, you know, that you get some very canned wooden performances from some voice actors in some games. It just sounded so natural. It just sounded so, like I said, like two people were just having a conversation, didn't even know that there was a microphone, that they were being recorded. You know, it just sounded like a genuine, real life, off the cuff conversation. And just you get drawn into that narrative, and you feel like you're just experiencing this world with them at the same time, and you're feeling the relationship change between the two of them as, you know, Joel becomes slightly more receptive and warms up to Ellie. You know, obviously he's very cold, he's very distant at first, and he starts warming up to her, and the bit where, you know, she's fighting for her life, and Joel pops in and saves her, and he calls her baby girl. That was the point that broke me. You know, because straight away it was like he called her baby girl, and you know, I just felt this huge emotional surge because that's what he called his daughter, and it meant he'd finally kind of accepted. You know, not just accepted Ellie, but had grown to really care for Ellie, you know, and he'd come to almost view her as a daughter. You know, it was just such a raw moment, and for someone like me who has autism, who is, you know, who has Asperger's, and really struggles with emotional connections, that broke me. That one moment, you know, I'd just naturally been absorbing the game and feeling like I was there with them just because of the way that the whole thing was presented. And as I said, the dialogue, it didn't feel canned, it didn't feel scripted, it felt genuine and natural, like I'm actually with these people listening to a genuine conversation. And, you know, getting invested in the characters and feeling that relationship just gradually change throughout the story. And then that one moment when he called a baby girl, that broke me. That really broke me, and that was the moment that I knew that game was so special. Alright, we got 97% with Oliver.
How do you feel about doing another lap on this set?
97 with George.
Very, very good job, guys. Okay, understood.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let's call in Ollie. Well, Ollie's already in. Let's see what needs to be tweaked. Let's try that. Let's try that. See if that works.
It was a good session all in all, I think. Still learned a lot.
Right, what do I need to do here? Ooh, a little bit more work needed here. Okay, so the camber has to change. Not the camber, sorry. The no, the camber needs to change that way because it can't go any further that way. Is that one little change? Is that all I need to do? I get the feeling I might need my toe there. I don't think that's enough of a change. Let's just try that. See if that works. Yeah, we'll go with that. Right, we're going to go with hard tyres on this run. So it's a 16 lap run. So we need to go 24 laps. No more than 24 laps. As for Gasly, he needs to do a lot of running. So we're going to throw him in for 32 laps. And we've already messed his setup up, or changed it up, so let's go into practice 2.
The radio is good? You can hear me, yeah?
Copy.
The prologue and The Last of Us was so emotional. It was. I mean, that hit hard straight away, but that's why that moment between Joel and Ellie, when she's fighting in the pub, and she's being choked out, and Joel saves her, and he calls her baby girl. That's what made that moment so powerful, because of what happened at the beginning.
How was the balance? All good. Yeah, copy that. Understood.
How is the balance, please?
I'm really pleased.
Okay, copy that.
And V.
Perez is out.
Yeah.
Okay, yellow, yellow.
Let's take a look at the replay. We're just watching the Red Bull. And that's an off, and a big off. The team are devastated.
Yes, I am muted. Whoops. Just muttering to myself there as I change the setup, as I often do. I took a swig of energy drink and had a big belch, and that's why I muted, and then forgot to unmute, and then belched on the microphone anyway. Very professional here. Okay, so we're going to get about 60% on Gasly. Let's keep him out for one more lap.
We'll get some comments when
Let's get an extra couple of percent out of him.
We'll be kicking off today.
Alrighty. On with the mediums. I've done this setup, so I just need enough time to actually get it across the line. So 17 laps is all we're going to need to get over the half-hour mark. As for Pierre, he's going to need to run longer than that. I'm going to run him for 28 laps. I do need to take a look at his setup. Okay, so let's revert. Okay, so we went the wrong way. I went there, and that was wrong. And I corrected to there. No, wait, that is 97, isn't it? That's a different 97. Okay. Okay, this one's going to confuse me a bit as well. Don't know if I can squeeze that in that way. I don't even know if I can find that 95 that I just had. I am gonna try that. I don't think that's going to be it, but we'll try it. And actually, we're going to go for a double run because I don't think this is going to work, and I'm going to need to change it. So we'll just go 15 laps, and then we'll call them in, do another run of 15. Yeah, let's give this a go.
Okay, radio check. Yeah, good.
I don't know about City Skylines trophies for the tiles. I've not looked. Evening, Colin. Yeah, you're thinking of the race before last night, I think. Last night was kind of night. But the race before that was excellent. I think. Or am I getting my races mixed up? I don't know. They're just all bleeding into each other at the moment. I've been playing Aston Martin in my own time. I've got the Aston Martin challenge mode. We've got this career. They're all kind of bleeding together. I'm trying to remember the results. I was convinced we were going to Dakota tonight, but that was last night. Yeah, no, yeah, I was thinking of Suzuka last night. Yeah, it was Kota. Yeah, no, I thought we were going to Mexico tonight, and that's obviously what we're doing next week with Aston Martin. And yeah, we're going to Baku instead. We're here in Baku. I'm getting my streams mixed up. Yeah. Another crash. God, everyone's crashing this weekend.
Okay.
At least it's not us. Multiple cars this time. I get the feeling a Ferrari might be involved.
On the track. Let's take a closer look. Now have a watch
Nope.
of this. Looks like
Completely misread that one. Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Me, that is a serious collision.
Why is my setup? No, there we go. There's the feedback. It's 95. So we found the 95 setup that we didn't want
Very
again.
nice.
Okay, copy that.
Where do you need help in terms of balance for switches?
Okay, so we've found the optimal for our braking stability. So we just need to there we go. I was getting confused with the different background there. So I need to pull that in. I've got to try and figure out what I need to undo. Is it that simple? might just be that simple. Alright, let's try it. If you have the PS4 version, then you can get the PS5 version for free. But it needs to be on the same account. So because I have two profiles, my old profile, which I haven't really played on for years, but I've still got titles purchased on. I log into that every now and again to download stuff from the purchase library on that one onto my system, and that's where my original copy of City Skylines was. So I had to log in as my old profile to download the free version of the PS5 upgrade of my PS4 copy to then use it on my new profile. It's a bit confusing, but yeah. And some of my DLC was on the old profile and some of it was on the new profile, so yeah, all fun and games. But yeah, if you have it on a PS5, if you have a PS5, then you can get the PS4 version upgraded for free. At least if you have the digital version. That's 97. Again, we're not there. I give up trying to chase that one. We've got the bonus. So let's just call him in. See if I can figure out where we were going wrong. It's the cornering. Okay, maybe I can salvage this. Oh, that messes up the traction. Yeah, I'm not going to play about with it. We'll sit with what we've got. We know that that's going to give us the bonus.
Fail 84, please. Fail 84.
Okay, Albon has a penalty. I didn't look to see if anyone else does. That'll be for that crash against the Alpine. We need to swap out the engine parts and the gearboxes. So engine number 2 for both drivers. ERS is fine on number 1 for both drivers. Right on the cusp for Gasly, but he'll be able to get through this race, I think. And we'll go to a new gearbox for both drivers. Well, a better gearbox for both drivers. There we go. We are ready to go qualifying.
Radio check, yeah, can you hear me?
Radio check, okay. Radio check, okay.
Right, we don't need anything amazing and spectacular here. Don't need to set the world alight. We just need a good, solid time to get us through. And that'll do it. So how much pace do we have against the front runners?
Seems to have been a lockup.
Leclerc got held. I think, or no, Leclerc was just starting his hot lap, so he might be okay. Wow, the Ferraris are off the pace. Are they still running older engines? Or did they just hit traffic? Magnussen definitely hit traffic. Look at that. 5 seconds off the pace. And we got a yellow flag.
We've had a crash.
Sonoda's crashed.
Take a look now.
That's going to
Let's look
ruin
at this.
so many
The
people's
focus on
laps.
Sonoda.
Oh, that's a heavy impact. But a yellow flag into turn 1, that's going to ruin quite a few people's laps. Ah, there we go. There's a bit more realistic pace from Leclerc. Just 1.5 tenths off. Sainz still a way off. Bottas about where he was. Yeah, not many people improved. And it is just Albon with that penalty. Alright, Q2. Again, we're going to do what we normally do and just go for a scrub run. And if that's good enough, then we won't even go out late in the session on new tyres.
The radio is good? You can hear me, yeah?
Copy.
Oh, Maxson did manage to sneak through. Oh, there we go. Very closely matched between our two drivers. Now there's no slipstream involved. Just 2/1000ths of a second. Porsche. Look how close Porsche is. That's got to be the scrubs against new. We're safe. We don't need to go out again. So, who is at risk? Sainz and Ricciardo both in the danger zone. And the Red Bulls aren't looking that safe. I've got to imagine Vettel's going to improve. Oh, we've got a crash. Magnussen's crashed. So he's out. And he's going to ruin a few people's laps as well.
Now just focus on the Haas.
Oh, wow, that's a big one.
That. That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see.
We'll get some comments
So
when
many
you're
people
plugged back
crashing
in.
this weekend. We've had, what, 5 crashes through practice. We've had 2 in quali. I think the odds of getting a safety car in the race are pretty high. Ricciardo is out. Sainz is through. Perez only just survives. Look at that gap. Look how close that is. Half a tenth. Alright, we are going out on brand new tyres at the end of the session.
Radio check.
We're going to try and make sure we get out ahead of the queue at the end of the session, given how frequent these crashes are happening. Don't want our laps ruined by a yellow flag. Porsche is on provisional pole briefly. That Alpha is very good in the low speed stuff by the look of it. Okay, so I need to go out with about 3 minutes 30 to go. Oh, they're going already. Damn it. Alright, well, I'll send Gasly out there. And we'll send Russell out at the end. Not ideal. We'll possibly get held up by Norris here as well. We should get a good slipstream off him, but might hurt us in the back half of the lap. I mean, our car's pretty good in the dirty air, but obviously dirty air is not as good as clean air. Neither driver going purple in the first sector. Gasly getting that nice toe down the back straight. It's not enough. Wow, 4/10 off Leclerc. Where did that time come from? That's mighty fast. I don't think Russell's going to get him either. Wow. So we had that slipstream, but we also had the dirty air, and as a result we were half a second slower than Gasly, who was half a second slower than Leclerc. Where did that lap time come from? Look at that, a 42.1, a 41.9, a 41.2. 7/10 of a second gained in that final session. Where did that come from? Did he change engines? No. That was just mighty. That was a hell of a lap. Okay,
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
Seeing how they did in qualifying, Williams are going to be the team to watch here. They'll be starting strong at the top of the grid and will have many opportunities to steer the race in their favour. Although Red Bull must be disappointed with their qualifying, they have resources aplenty. Let's see if they can rise up from their grid position with a strong race. We've been having sunny weather here today, but there are some clouds looming that might complicate things for teams further down the line.
Well, whatever happens, it's sure to be a tremendous race day here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
that was something special. I still can't quite get over that. A 141.2. I mean, you look at George, who ran in clean air and all three of his runs, pretty much identical times, within a tenth. Pierre got that big slipstream off the back of Norris and gained half a second. 6/10 of a second he gained as a result of that over his Q2 time. Half a second over his, well, nearly half a second over his Q1 time. And just look at the difference. Leclerc 9/10 of a second gained from Q1 to Q3 in clean air. That was a hell of a lap. I still can't get over that lap. Right, we're going to two-stop. Do I go soft, medium, soft? I don't think I can make the tyres last that long. At least not competitively. Medium, medium, soft is probably the way to go. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go medium, medium, soft. And same for Gasly. We'll be quick at the start. Just need to stay with the Ferrari as long as we can. And then we should hopefully be faster in the middle, because I'm guessing the Ferrari will go on to hards. And then we'll have soft tyres at the end. The Ferrari might even one-stop. Leclerc has a tendency to one-stop when others two-stop, so that could work in our advantage. We're going to take a lap of fuel out. I could probably get away with taking out the second one with high odds of safety car, but I don't want to, given how fast that Ferrari was, I don't want to have to spend time in the race saving fuel unnecessarily. So yeah, there we go, that's our strategy. And let's see how we do.
I don't want to tempt fate, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. There we have Pierre Gasly. They're in second place on the grid, but that could so easily change in the first few seconds of the race. And here we can see Russell. Starting in third place, they're in a really good position for this race. The race start is mere seconds away. Here we go with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, no heroics off the line. Just need a nice clean start. If that Ferrari is as fast as I think it's going to be, I'm happy to just sit behind it. Let it pull us along. Already the three of us have broken away from Porsche, who's in third. Sorry, in fourth. We're in third. But yeah, we've almost gapped Porsche already, look. Alright. Porsche's on softs. That's why he got the jump on Bottas. Gasly's looking a bit feisty. Keeps weaving in and out of the slipstream, looking for a pass. It's not going to get it without DRS, I don't think. That Ferrari's just very fast. And we're not going to be shaking Porsche anytime soon with him on those soft tyres. We're going to be pulling him along. We have got a gap opening up behind Bottas. So we've got a little breakaway group. I've got to be careful, Russell doesn't get dropped here. He's going to be driving defensively with Porsche swarming all over the back of him like that. Gasly having a look.
DRS enabled, DRS enabled.
He's going to get DRS here and the inside line, so he's going to get a clean run and get away from Leclerc here. And now we can try and get through as well.
Very good job, Pierre.
We're getting blocked. I'm not going to sprint. There just isn't a point.
Just gained by Williams.
Leclerc's not. I'm not going to drop Leclerc. I need to play this smart, not burn out my resources at the beginning. This is going to be an interesting battle all the way through this Grand Prix with Leclerc. I'm not worried about Porsche. As soon as those tyres start to go off, we're going to drop him like a hot potato. But Leclerc, if he's one-stopping and he's got this kind of pace on a one-stop...
That was a very good lap.
That could be very interesting indeed. We might not even be able to hunt him down on the softs in time. Depends how big a gap he opens up while we're pitting. That's him swooping back through into the lead.
So frustrating.
Okay, keep it clean. Focus on the pace.
I watch quite a lot of other YouTubers play this game, and they always try and... It's like they're trying to be busy all the time with their drivers, constantly changing the fuel, changing the tyre push, changing the DRS push. They go flat out for like 2 laps, then they go into full conserve for a couple of laps, and then back into full push, and it's just all you're doing is just wearing things out. A lot of the time you just need to sit and wait for an opportunity. I mean, if you think back to last season when we were at France, it's a perfect example of what happens when you start pushing at the wrong time. We just burnt our tyres out and we had no pace where we needed it at the end of towards the end of the stint as a result. You know, when you've got a car that's easily better than the rest of the field, then you can sprint for a couple of laps to get clear, and then you can just sit and do nothing. But when you're in a situation like this where you've got a car that is not the best car, but you're in contention for the win, pushing and pushing and then charging and pushing and charging and pushing is the worst thing you can do when you're in a circuit like this, because you just burn out any chance you've got of keeping those tyres alive, and you have to change your strategy. And then if you try and stretch your tyres, having burnt them really hard, really quick, and try and go for an overcut, you just have no pace, and the car that you're battling with pits early, opens up a big gap, and you are out of the DRS when you come back. So you then have to push and push and push and burn out your tyres just getting back into the DRS, and then you start to get towards the end of the stint and you haven't got pace and you drop away, and it just, yeah, unnecessary busy work. You know, a little bit of DRS deployment here and there or a little ERS deployment here and there, just to make sure you don't lose the DRS. A little bit of recharge where you can, just to top your battery up without sacrificing track position or dropping off the back of a train. You know, you just look after the car. You don't over fuel the car and then just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to burn off all that extra fuel, because you just burn your tyres out faster, and then you don't have the pace at the end of the stint, which means you have to pit early, and then you have to burn your tyres to push to get back into contention. Yeah, it spirals. If you're patient and you take your time and you wait for opportunities, then jump on them when they come.
Okay, that's good, very good.
That's the way to do it, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's the only way to do it, but I mean, for me, that's the way that makes the most sense. Just be patient, find the right opportunity, and then take advantage of it. And if you keep burning your battery without looking after it, and then an opportunity presents itself and you can get through, but you can't sprint away, you're screwed, because, you know, if that car behind you is faster and you found that chance to get a quick 2-second gap, you're in a position where you can't charge your car, because you're going to lose time and it's going to be on you just like that. So you have to just keep pushing with no battery, or, you know, running in neutral and not getting any charge into the car, and just getting the lap charge that you generate over a lap and spending it instantly. Which means that car's going to catch you anyway, and then when it catches you, you've got nothing to defend with, because you've burnt all your battery and you've probably burnt your tyres pushing to try and stay ahead. You know, much better to just let it get back past you, take the opportunity to rebuild your battery, keep your tyres under control, and then have another go later. You can see now that Porsche is already dropping back. Those soft tyres starting to drop away from him a little bit. He's down to 68%. And now he's going to struggle to stay with us in the corners, because he's losing that traction advantage. He's getting passed by Bottas here. And he will lose position to Bottas, you know, in terms of he'll drop off the back of Bottas soon, within the next couple of laps as well. He just won't have the pace to stay with him. He'll hang in there for the next lap or two with DRS, and then he'll just get to a point where he hasn't got the pace to stay with him to get to the next DRS zone. And this is what happens if you push your tyres too quick. It's a short-term gain for a long-term pain. It's the way I look at this game. You burn those tyres hard, it only hurts you. You know, it's great for that short period of time, but it hurts you for a lot longer, you know, later in the stint. I can probably get away with
Need to drop the pace.
just easing off a little bit with Gasly. And maybe even Russell as well. I'm just wary of letting Bottas get into DRS range at the moment.
Okay, we'd like you to slow down, please.
Just trying to put myself now in a position where, as Leclerc's tyres start to wear out, ours will be slightly better and we'll be able to keep our pace up a little bit longer. In a straight fight, that Ferrari's going to cream us, so we just need to be clever. You know, we need to make sure that if it gets in front of us, we don't let it get away from us. If we stay with it, we can protect, we can make him push to get past us. and then we can be the ones that aren't suffering. He'd be the one that has to take the short-term gain for the long-term pain. So when he does pit and he comes out on fresh rubber and it's quick, we still have something to be able to try and respond. Oops, someone spun. It's just a yellow right now.
Yellow flag, single yellow.
Let's see what happened there. Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel.
Ooh,
Oh dear,
awkward place to spin.
The car's just gone.
That's going to drop him right down the field.
And that was a bit of...
Where is he? He's down in 17th. So in this situation here, I know that Leclerc's got the pace to just straight past me on these DRS straights. If he gets a clean run, he's getting blocked here, but if he had a clean run, he'd have just been straight past me. I could push my tyres really hard and use my battery to try and stay ahead of him, or I could just let him overtake me. Keep looking after my tyres, not use my battery, and if he does get past me, I've got a chance to get back past him on the next lap. So in this situation here, I could fight that, but there isn't any point because I can get him back at the end of the lap.
I'm just all over the place.
There's no need for me to wear out my battery, wear out my tyres, fighting an unwinnable fight. Because he has so much more raw pace than we do, even if I did pull 2-3 seconds away, he would just eat that away bit by bit every lap. And I would have nothing to defend when he did catch up. And if he then broke away, I would have no way of staying with him, because I would have no battery to chase him down. So I'm just managing the gap, keeping an eye on the times, making sure that if things do get a little bit hairy, I just up the pace just enough to stay in the DRS and then drop it back down again. And this little slight saving we're doing on the tyres, it's not huge, but it's already, you know, going to give us a slight advantage. Russell, for some reason, I think because he's been in dirty air the whole time, his tyres are wearing slightly quicker than Gasly, which is unusual, because you would think it would be the other way around, but Gasly's tyres are now wearing ever so slightly slower than Leclerc's because he's at a slower push. And, you know, over the course of the stint, that will give me an extra couple of %. It's not much, an extra 2 or 3%, but it could mean the difference between staying in first at the round of pit stops, or maybe even overtaking and taking the lead when it comes to the pit stops. It also means we get to protect a little bit better against Bottas behind us. His tyres will wear out slightly quicker than us as well, so he'll be less of a threat towards the end of the stint because his tyres won't be quite as good. One thing you did very differently from me was use of fuel. Yeah, when I first started playing the game, I mean, this is pre-tyre patch, but when I first started playing, I would overfuel and push, because there wasn't really any negative consequence to it. But now there is, you know, with the tyre patch. And I've seen a lot of people, you know, put extra 1 or 2 laps worth of fuel in the car, when their car is going to save a lap of fuel over the course of a race anyway. And at some circuits, Hungary for example, you can save 3 laps of fuel easy, just running in standard mode all the way through. You can underfuel by 3 laps and still finish with a positive fuel delta before you get to the end of the Grand Prix. There's something about that circuit, you just save fuel so easily without even trying. And I've seen people try and overfuel at Hungary. And it's like, why? Why put that much extra fuel in the car? all you're doing is just making yourself heavier. And one thing I have noticed as well is if you take like 2 laps of fuel out at the start, you get a rocket start compared to some of the cars around you. But then obviously you've got extra fuel to save. It's great when you're a back marker because you know you're going to get lapped and you're going to save maybe a lap of fuel. You might have to do a little bit of fuel saving. But you can take 2 laps out when you're running at the back with Williams or Aston Martin in the first season, knowing that you're going to get lapped. So that's 1 lap fuel saved already. And then you're going to probably save most of a lap, if not all of a lap, throughout the course of the Grand Prix. That puts you at fuel 0. If you get a safety car, you're going to save a ton of fuel anyway. So yeah, first half of the season with Williams or Aston Martin, you want to be taking 2 laps of fuel out pretty much every circuit. Right, Russell is actually in danger. Oh no, wait. He closed up on the braking. For a second there, Russell was over a second out of range. It was just a timing glitch, I think. You can see how quickly Porsche has been dropped now that those tyres are gone. Let's see, he's at 50% now. And you can see we are getting that slight advantage over Leclerc in terms of tyre life, and we're definitely getting an advantage over Bottas. Whoa, that was close. So close to contact. I think one of the other things you need to take into consideration is the strengths of your car going into each circuit as well. Like I said, on paper, this is always going to be a slightly tricky race for us because we don't have the greatest straight line speed and we don't have the greatest slow speed performance. And this circuit is all about top speed and low speed cornering performance. And they're 2 things where we are weakest on our car. We're not weakest compared to the grid, but our car is weakest in those 2 areas. So it's taking that into consideration with the car as well. You know, when you think about how you want to approach the race, is the circuit on paper good for your car? Is it bad for your car? Is it a slight handicap? But you know, you could still pull out a good result, which is where we sit in this Grand Prix. And the more times you race at the circuits, the more you get to basically understand them. That's how I figured out that, for whatever reason, you know, after a couple of different races at Hungary, I realised I was saving a lot of fuel just without even trying. So I started deliberately under-fueling by 3 laps when I race at Hungary, because I know I'm going to save that fuel. Whereas other circuits, you know, it can be a struggle sometimes just to save 1 lap of fuel. I'm going to tell Russell just to hold back. There's no point in him putting undue pressure, unnecessary pressure on Gasly. And it probably takes a little bit of strain off his own tyres as well. And you can see the difference between our two drivers, because Gasly has been right up in the gearbox of Leclerc. He's been saving a lot more fuel than Russell has, because he's not been riding the gearbox of Russell. Sorry, Russell's not been riding the gearbox of Gasly. He's been a little bit further back, so he's not had that slipstream benefit to the same extent that Gasly has. And that's why there's half a kilo difference in their fuel loads already. That's another way you can easily save fuel without even trying, is to just sit behind a car and just let it pull you along. Right, let's have a quick look now. Oh, we've got some pit stops already. Stroll has pitted onto hards, and so has Bashir. So we should see other soft runners coming in soon. Porsche, Sainz, Perez, Verstappen. Those guys are all in the 40s. Those guys are probably going to be pitting in the next lap or two. Don't think we'll see Zhou or Tsunoda pit next, or Ricciardo. They might go an extra couple of laps, but we could see a flurry of activity this time round. And Gasly now has a 2% tyre advantage over Leclerc. It's not significant, but it's enough. But Russell, crucially, has now got a 3% advantage over Bottas, which is a little bit more significant. That will help him defend. Which he's going to need to push, because he is now out of DRS. So Bottas is probably going to jump me here.
Yep.
So I'm not going to thrash it for this lap. I'm just going to sit behind, and then we'll try and retake that position on the main straight.
Yeah, copy. There's only so much I can do. Okay, buddy, no worries. Okay, we'd like you to slow down, please. Copy.
Just want to make sure that Gasly does not give DRS to Bottas if we can. So I'm just going to get him to push just a little bit.
Okay, we need some deploy.
Make it easier for Russell to get back past again.
Let's pick our pace up, let's go. Come on. Good job.
And that's currently P1. Sainz in the pit.
Okay, there we go. There's the flurry of pit stops I was expecting. Porsche, Sainz, Perez, Ricciardo. Oh, Perez is getting held for Ricciardo. Zhou's coming in as well, and Tsunoda. They're all going on to hards.
Need to drop the pace.
Copy.
Oh wow, Russell got a really bad exit.
Alright, buddy, push, push.
He's coming under pressure from Bottas, which is not helping him. I would love to try and drop Bottas. But I just don't think we're going to have the pace to do that. We are close to our pits, so now is the time to go for it.
We have margin to push a bit more.
Okay.
We gave the Ferrari DRS. At the very least, let's see if we can at least drop Bottas over the lap. And this is why I wanted to save the tyres so that I could really push them aggressively and not lose massive amounts of performance against Leclerc.
Good job.
So hopefully I can actually break away from him.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
I'm making it go very defensive. Making it go very defensive. We might just get that 1 second. We did, which means Russell has a chance of overtaking here.
Very good lap.
Yeah.
Alright, we're not getting through, so I'm just going to sit behind for the rest of the
See if we
lap.
can focus on recharge, please.
Get some battery back in the car. Let Gasly try and open up a gap before he pits. Got to be wary of Bottas behind us. George is driving very defensively, which is not helping him.
Charge on for now.
Copy.
So we will go recharge off.
Copy.
Need to drop the pace.
Copy.
So, is Leclerc pitting this lap, or is he staying out?
Yeah, in the box.
He's staying out.
Okay, thank you, Pierre.
Recharge on, please, recharge on.
We're bringing Russell in at the end of this lap. Come on, make the move stick. There we go, we got him.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Charge off.
Yeah.
So now we're deliberately keeping Russell in charge mode for two reasons. One, to get him a little bit of battery in the car before he pits, and two, just to try and slow Leclerc down that a little bit more. Give Gasly every chance of his undercut working. Leclerc's staying out, and so's Bottas. So I'm wondering, are those guys going to one-stop? I get the feeling they probably are. Mercedes are out. Is that for Ricciardo? Or is Bottas coming in next lap? Well, Ricciardo hasn't pitted, so I'm guessing Bottas is coming in at the end of this lap. I don't know about Leclerc. Like I said, he's notorious for one-stopping. So he may very well be staying out.
You can go recharge off if you want.
Copy.
Bottas putting the pressure on Leclerc. That's one good thing about having dragged him forward, is that he is slowing Leclerc down by making him go defensive. Let's see, does he peel off? They both do. They're both in. So this is where we see whether our undercut has worked with both drivers. And what about Ocon? Hard tyres for Bottas. Does Leclerc get held? Leclerc gets held as well. Beautiful. Ocon's coming in the pits. No, Ocon's going through, so that's got to be for Alonso then. No, not Alonso. Vettel. Alonso's at Alfa Romeo. And we've jumped both of them. By a good few seconds. And Leclerc now a second behind Bottas, who's 3 seconds behind Russell. So that's worked out beautifully. And with them on hard tyres, yeah, they're probably one-stopping to the end now. They did 21 laps, or 20 laps on those hards. They can easily go on the mediums. They can easily go to the end on these hards. But we have pace in hand now with a faster compound of tyre. We can try and open up that gap. And then when we do come in for those softs, we can be mighty fast. We just need Leclerc to be held up behind Bottas as long as possible now. Gasly's caught and is passing Ocon in a very strange position there, but just straight past him. I didn't see Vettel coming in, so Ocon must be coming in this lap.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
Yeah, there goes Ocon. So 147s for us. We'll have to wait till next lap to see what kind of pace that Bottas and Leclerc are doing, but we should be about half a second, if not more, a lap faster. I've just realised I've been chatting away and I'm muted again. Yeah, we're a second a lap faster at the moment, but now that Leclerc has just jumped Bottas, their pace will pick up. Unless Bottas can get back in front again. Leclerc's time will be slightly elevated because he used DRS. Oh, Bottas is going to get him. No, he's not. Yes, he is. So yeah, we're looking at Bottas's time of about a 1:47.8. So we're looking at around
Keep an eye on the fuel, please.
around that as a realistic kind of lap time. Bottas is going to get in front. He's now going to hold up Leclerc for the rest of the lap. That's excellent news. This is what we need. We need Bottas to stay ahead of him as long as possible. We're not going to pull out enough to get out and stay ahead when it comes to our stops. Because at some point our tyres are going to wear out to the point where they're going to start closing us in. But we do need to open up enough of a gap that we can chase them down and still catch them when we get those softs on. I am toying with the idea of pushing Russell just to get him onto the back of Gasly. If only just so they can charge each other up. But there's always the risk that if I do that, they're going to slow each other down with defensive driving. And there's always the risk that one of them's going to hit the other one. So for the moment, I'm just going to leave them where they are. One thing I have noticed is we are not saving fuel anywhere near the rate I thought we would.
Can we do lift and coast?
So I'm going to go ahead and save that now while I've got some good tyres to do that.
We need a little bit more lift off, please.
Copy.
And while I am lapping faster than these two. Okay, less than a lap, well, less than a kilo of fuel to save now for Gasly, a little bit more still for Russell. Crucially, the gap is holding about steady at 5.1 seconds. Ooh, who locked up?
They've locked up and gone straight off.
Oh, Verstappen.
Here's the replay. Now here we see Max.
Oh, he's stuck in
Verstappen.
traffic. He's
That
pushing
lockup
hard.
could have cost them dearly.
He's not having a great race. He's been very anonymous.
And the team had such high hopes today.
Is he running an old engine? He is. I wonder why he was so off the pace. He's going to be rapid in the next one. Perez on a 60% engine. Yeah, the Red Bulls are nowhere at the moment. Perez is down in 9th. And under pressure. And Verstappen, thanks to his lockup, is now wallowing down in 13th. He might not even get points this weekend.
No lift and coast required from our side at the moment.
Yeah, Roger.
Let's try and get Russell onto the back of Gasly. And we'll tell him to hold position.
Okay, ciao John.
Copy.
I'm hopeful that Russell just sits in that slipstream. It will help save him some extra fuel.
Okay, recharge on.
Yeah.
Lift and coast required.
Copy.
Let's lift off, please.
Okay.
Okay, so in theory I should be able to run Gasly like this for the rest of the race now, in terms of fuel. Might have to do a little bit of fuel saving right towards the end, but it won't be significant. Russell tucked up in the slipstream like this should save fuel really quickly. It's amazing how much time you lose on this circuit when you're not using ERS at all. You lose a huge amount of time. You can see how quickly Bottas is starting to close us back in again. The Gasly's almost fully charged. Just save him for another half a lap and then he should be good to go. Bottas is keeping Leclerc at bay for us, which is awesome. And you can see how quickly we've saved fuel for Russell with the combination of the low fuel mode and the slipstream. Just sat right in his gearbox.
Charge off.
Yeah, copy.
No lift and coast required.
Copy.
Watch for fuel.
Copy.
And now we can try and use Gasly's natural pace to pull Russell along while Russell is just finishing off his battery. And then I'll cut them loose and I'll let them fight. So yeah, I'm quite happy with where we are fuel-wise now. Like I said, we may have to do just a little lap or two at the end where we need to just save a little bit of fuel, but I think we're probably good for the rest of this Grand Prix now.
Recharge off.
22 laps, including this one, to save half a kilo. Should be able to do that.
Recharge on.
Yeah, copy.
Oh, that's drafted. Our tyres are starting to lose their advantage. We only need to think about 18 seconds on this circuit for a pit stop, so we're about halfway there. And then we can make that extra half back with the soft tyres. Just got to time it right and not push those soft tyres hard when we come out the pits. Otherwise, by the time we catch, we won't have anything to fight with to actually get past.
Let's go recharge off.
Copy.
Let's see if we can get these two swapping positions. I'm amazed no one's put it in the wall, given how many times we saw that through practice and quali. Teo would probably take Russell with him. Maybe. I noticed towards the end of the lap there was some defensive driving from Russell as Gasly was trying to find a way past, so that's why I'm telling George to just sit behind until we get to the start-finish straight, and then we'll try and swap them around again. Requires a little bit more micromanaging, but it should be faster, because there'll be no defensive driving from Russell or Gasly through this section here. Gotta take every possible advantage we can now with our tyres starting to degrade. Bottas and Leclerc swapping positions. We need to try and make sure we can do the same. Getting close to our pit. Just another couple of laps. Again, you can see how we've actually protected our tyres a little bit. Just by not fighting and just driving smooth. Combined with both drivers' natural high smoothness ratings. So we're doing 147s. Yeah, we're lapping about half a second faster doing this. I say it does require a little bit more micromanagement, having to constantly issue orders. But it's working, and look at the fuel situation as well. Because they're spending so long tucked up behind each other, they are saving fuel in the process. And we've got the gap up to 9.5 seconds now. We gained almost a second on that last lap.
Keep an eye on the fuel, please.
Okay.
This is how you coordinate your drivers to work in partnership with each other. Can't do it on a lot of circuits, but this one, because of those long straights, it's and long DRS straights as well, it's a lot easier to do, and you can see the benefits as we now get into double digit lead. 10 seconds. We're pulling out more of a gap now doing this than we did just letting them race on their own in clean air. And certainly a lot more than when we let them fight each other. There we go, over a second a lap faster that last lap. And we shouldn't be able to pull that much of a gap. Look at the tyre difference. 20% now. Let's go ahead and box Russell this lap. Give Gasly the DRS.
Box, please. Box.
Yes, box.
Can we do lift and coast?
Copy.
And there we go. That's Russell into the pits. Gasly released for his in-lap.
Box.
2.4 seconds, that's not bad. We are comfortably ahead of Sainz.
No lift and coast required from our side at the moment.
Copy.
Keep up the lift off. You're doing a very good job.
Okay.
So let's see, we have a 7.7 second gap. Let's see how quickly this comes down.
Let's lift off, please.
Yeah.
Well, there's your answer. We've taken almost a second already in just one sector. We're going to be on these guys so fast.
Yeah, in the box.
Copy.
And they're going to the end, I think. I can't see them pitting again. Maybe if we get a late safety car, but... Alright, so Gasly's going to have more pace anyway, so he'll quickly catch up to the back of Russell over the next few laps. Well, not quickly, but he'll catch up over the next few laps. Probably by about the time that Russell catches Leclerc / Bottas, whichever one's behind. As Vettel and Alonso both pit. Oh, nose to tail. Alonso might get held by Vettel here. Yeah, not really. But they're both out on softs. Russell is now 5 seconds behind. Let's see what lap times are. Got to wait another lap for Gasly. But we can see what pace Russell's got. This is going to be a new fastest lap. Without even trying. Oh, we've got traffic coming out the pits as well. That could slow those two down. 1:45.6. Look at that. We are 2 seconds faster a lap than Bottas and Leclerc right now. And plenty of life in these tyres. No need to push. We'll catch them without even having to push. Gasly is now fuel positive. Russell is almost fuel positive. Another lap or two and he'll be there. We could be in DRS range. Coming out of turn 2 here. Well, not quite. But we will be at the end of the lap. Without a shadow of a doubt. And Gasly's going to be on the back of this party in about a lap and a half's time. See if we can get them both on the main straight. Or even just the run to the main straight.
That was a very good lap.
Oh, nearly got them. There's Gasly. Come on, let me at least get Leclerc. There we go. Maybe I can get Bottas here as well. Side by side.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
Nicely done.
Alright, we're going to keep sprinting him just to get him clear.
And there's an
Gasly's
overtake
turn now.
from Williams.
Only can use the deploy.
Copy.
Ah, Bottas, I thought I was going to get him up the inside then. Can I get them both here? I can't get either of them. Surely I can get one of them here. No, we're all blocking each other. Verstappen in 11th place and 6.5 seconds off his teammate, who's scrapping over 9th place with Ricardo, who's just got past Norris, and Norris has got back past him. Wow, it's a close little fight. I'd like to watch that, but we need to focus on this for a moment.
Okay, we need some deploy.
Yeah.
Alright, we're up the inside of Bottas. We should get Leclerc here. There we go. Finally, we're through. Lost 5 seconds to Gasly on
Okay,
those
that's good. Yeah, very good.
couple of laps that we were stuck behind there. Sorry, 5 seconds to Russell. But he's through. We'll give him a lap to push. To break away. Leave those two to scrap over the last podium place. Alright, there we go. He's free and clear. Let's take a look at this battle that's going on here. This is shaping up to be a right little humdinger of a fight here. Three-way fight for 8th, 9th and 10th. That was us whizzing through on the other side of the barrier. I wonder if Ricciardo's actually going to be able to break away here. Here comes Perez. Oh, what a fight this is. And Bottas is still hanging on to third. That's going to go all the way down to the wire. As is this fight here. Gasly a couple of tenths faster than Russell, but I don't think he's got enough time left to close the gap. He can get within a second. All bets are off, but I think Russell's going to win this. He has got slightly better tyres. It's a good old scrap this between Ricciardo, his former teammate, and the car that he used to drive. Gasly's now 9.5 seconds clear of third place. I wasn't sure we'd have this much pace on the softs compared to them, but yeah. This is going to be a comfortable victory in the end. And that's just the way I like it. Sainz battling with Porsche. Ferrari factory team against Ferrari customer team. And these two are a long way off the back of Ocon, so he's pretty much, I think, guaranteed 5th. But it's kind of good to see Porsche coming good. Evening, Corey.
Four laps remaining.
These two still side by side. They've been like this for what? 35 laps now? Oh, what has happened to Verstappen? Vettel's got him. Is Vettel on softs? Vettel's on softs. He's swept past Verstappen and he's charging down on the back of this. This could be yet more drama. Vettel could take points away from Ricciardo and or maybe Perez or Norris. One of those three is going to lose out. I'm going to watch Vettel here for the next couple of laps. He's on a tear right now on those new softs.
3 laps to go.
Yeah, copy, all good.
He's lapping nearly 3 seconds a lap faster. Oh, hello. That's just the yellow flag. I thought that was a safety car for a second there. Who crashed? Alonso. He's been nowhere this race.
Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one.
Oh, that's a bad crash. Yeah, but look at this. Look, Ricciardo is nearly 3 seconds slower than Vettel. He's on a tear. He's almost as fast as Russell. Look how quickly he's closed this gap down. He's going to get all three of them. Norris trying to break away from the pair of them. Bottas back on the podium as things stand. There's quite a few little fights that are going to go right down to the wire here.
Two laps remaining.
Catching is one thing. Can he get the pass done nice and quickly? Two laps to gain 3 places. And Norris is breaking away. What was my favourite City Series? I don't know. Had a lot of fun with with the Winterfall DLC. Oh, that's Ricciardo. Perez is going to be a sitting duck here. Jamesville, I was still learning, but had a lot of fun with that one. I think those two were probably my favourites. Mass Transit was good as well. And the Natural Disasters one was quite fun. Building that big trench and then just flooding the city.
Last lap, let's make it count.
Oh, can Vettel get up the inside or the outside here? He's going to have to stick behind him, I think. Yep. So I think Norris is safe. But Perez is going to get overtaken, I'm sure of that. Leclerc takes third place. Bottas takes it back. Is that the move for the podium? Can Leclerc get him on the main straight before the line? It's going to be close. Porsche holding off Sainz. One more lap to go for these guys here. Even with that tyre advantage, I just don't think Vettel's going to catch Norris. As he sweeps past Perez. I think it's Ricciardo who's going to lose out in this fight. He's the one who's not going to get points. Perez is going to try and throw it up the inside. Oh, that was close. Vettel holds him off.
That's the checkered flag.
Russell wins by 2.5 seconds.
Come on! Yes, please. Excellent.
We can take a look now. There it is. A win for George Russell.
Just the perfect end to what has been a thrilling race.
Another win for George. Extends his lead at the top of the championship. Who's going to get the podium? Leclerc's making the move. Bottas blocks him and takes the podium by less than 100th of by less than 1/10 of a second. 800ths of a second. Can Porsche hold off Sainz? Pulling for Porsche here, our former driver. Oh, just by 1/10. What about Ricciardo? Can Ricciardo get Perez for the final point and leave Red Bull with nothing in this race? He goes to the outside. Perez is going to block him. And Perez picks up the final point by 700ths of a second. Wow, some close finishes. Some really close finishes there. And Alonso almost caught Verstappen. If he hadn't had that spin, he'd have had him, and Verstappen would have been in 13th. Ah, what a dramatic finish. Comfortable win for George in the end. Gasly closed him down but couldn't catch him. A fight all the way to the line for Bottas to claim the podium.
And here today, George Russell making British motorsport proud.
And are we looking at the next world champion? in the Williams.
Everyone involved in Formula One dreams of seeing their driver up there on the podium. And right now it's the British driver who proudly takes his place on the podium. For these drivers, they'll be taking home their trophies and a decent haul of points for their team. A very impressive showing today for Williams.
The whole team was absolutely on their game today, and the result proves that.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
For the next round in Formula One, the teams are travelling to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal.
Oh, I love racing at Canada. It's one of my all-time favourites. There we go. 2 places gained for Russell, starting third, finishing first. Gasly starts and finishes in second, but does get the fastest lap by quite a way. Nearly a second faster than George in the end. A great race for us. We played it patient at the start and then did some very strategic switching of places to get our drivers charged, save the fuel that we needed to save and still pull out the gap. And then just steamrolled them when we got onto those softs at the end. And a very comfortable race for us in the end. Great fight all the way through between these two. Once we pitted and we left these two alone, they never got less than a second apart. They were nose to tail, swapping places for over 30 laps. That was incredible between those two. Another great fight here. Vettel just steaming his way through on those soft tyres at the end. Coming from behind Verstappen to take Max and Ricciardo and Perez and then get himself into ninth. And if he hadn't been held up, could possibly have had Norris as well. Porsche, had a great race. Started high, managed to maintain his position. He was running in third or fourth at one point. I think fourth. At the start of the Grand Prix, dropped back down to sixth, but he held off Carlos Sainz right down to the wire, and then Perez just holding off Ricciardo for the final point. Some real humdinger fights going on towards the end of the Grand Prix there. In the driver standings, 25 points for George, his third win of the season, puts him on 147 points. His teammate Pierre Gasly gets fastest lap. That's his third fastest lap of the season, but he does lose another 6 points to George, so that gap is now 19 points. His grip on the championship is starting to slip, and it's his teammate is tugging it away from him. No points for Max at all, who had a shocker of a Grand Prix, although he was running that old engine. I expect him to be much, much faster at Canada. Sainz closes right up, just 6 points the gap between the two of them now. Bottas, good haul of points, he's now up to fifth, 3 points off of Carlos. Leclerc getting a decent haul of points as well. Perez, that 1 point doesn't really do much for him, but it's something rescued for a terrible weekend for Red Bull. Good points again for Ocon, moving him well clear of Ricciardo now. Let's have a look at the constructors. Maximum haul for us, 44 points, puts us now 105 points clear of Ferrari. Wow, 105 points clear after 8 races. That is mighty. That's a huge gap already. Ferrari leapfrogging Red Bull, who scored that one single solitary point. Mercedes, a good haul of points for them. Could they find themselves starting to close in on Red Bull? I think this weekend was just a blip. I think we'll see Red Bull's pace come back with fresh engines. A fresh engine for Max at the very least at Canada. Not sure about Checo. He might keep his engine. He was at 60% going into this Grand Prix. Alpine, a good haul of points for them. They are pulling away from Aston Martin now. Their promise at the first part of the season starting to slip a little bit. Alpha certainly making some good strides to close that gap back to them as they move ahead of McLaren and Haas. No points for either driver, but we do get progress for them, and another 900 experience points for Ollie Behrman, considering we forgot to take him out last time. An impressive performance for Russell. 7 overtakes, 9 defences, 11 failed overtakes, 6 failed defences. We did keep them under a tight leash at one point where they weren't attacking or defending. Exceptional race for Gasly. 12 overtakes, 6 defences, 13 failed overtakes, 7 failed defences. Good race for him. Just a little unlucky. It could have been his win. George just managed to get the upper hand and was comfortable from there on. And a big haul of cash. Look at that, 8.8 mil. We got our incentives, all 3 of them. We got our guarantees, and we got our quali streak complete, as well as our finish position streak. So we'll have new streaks going into the next Grand Prix, but all of that adds up to a very healthy 9 million payout, just give or take. And that makes our bank balance look very healthy. We can now actually go ahead. I thought we would only be able to afford to do a refurb. We can actually go ahead and do a full upgrade now on our suspension simulator and still have money in the bank. That's awesome. Right, our front wing is, or rear wing is still a way off. That's going to come in 12 days, so that's going to come for Silverstone. Our suspension, oh, that's a point, I never looked at that. That's our rear wing. Oh no, wait, hang on. Silverstone is the week after. So we will get our suspension there on the day of the new ATR period, which will still be in time for Silverstone. So we'll have 2 new parts after Canada going into our home Grand Prix, and we'll have hours to spend on developing something new for the car as well. There's our inbox. Board delighted with victory. And there's our usual little bit of gubbins, the post-race overview by Michael Loom. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight and this week. Been a great week of streaming. We've had some wonderful racing, some great results, and our Williams team is going from strength to strength. We are looking very dominant. At this point last season, we were chasing and we were fighting, and while Gasly was starting to build a lead in the Drivers' Championship, we were still chasing in the Constructors. This year, very different picture. Gasly is the one who's chasing in the Drivers. So, how will the rest of the season play out? We will just have to be patient and find out. So, next week, Monday, we'll be back, touch wood, as, assuming all things go as planned. We'll be back with more Williams, and we'll be going to Canada for the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be doing our Aston Martin, starting in Mexico City on Tuesday. And then Friday, we'll be going to Silverstone for the home Grand Prix of Williams. So that's what's coming up next week. So until then, thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager on the PS5 very soon.